Hey everyone, I'm John O'Neill.
I'm Sarah Fowler.
And I'm Audrey Wells.
And we are theater kids who talk sports. It's March, and so that means that we are in my favorite time of the sports calendar, college basketball, March Madness. And as millions of people around the world do, I create brackets every year. So far, I've done 2 brackets, and the 3 of us have decided to do one together. Now, this is probably going to get crazy because the 3 of us are opinionated just a little bit. And we have one huge thing in common, and that's that we love musical theater. But we have one huge thing not in common, and that is that I am a diehard from birth Duke fan.
That's unfortunate.
And those 2 are diehard Carolina fans. One of them being an alum of the school. What year?
2017.
2017. So this is how this episode is going to work. The first thing we're going to have to do is figure out a name for our bracket. And then once we do that, we're going to go through every game on the bracket, region by region, starting with the West. And then we're going to go all the way down till they get a Final Four in that region. Then we'll go to the next one. But the caveat is the 3 of us have to agree on the winner of each game before we can move on.
That's
that's
for all of us.
That's probably that's going to be the hard part. So before we get started on the bracket, I have a question for the 2 of you, and that is, how do you usually fill out your brackets? Like, what are your strategies? Are you a 1 bracket person? Are you a multiple bracket person? I'm typically a multiple bracket person. I call it my head versus my head bracket and my heart bracket. So my heart bracket, Duke wins every year, which helped really nicely when they won the national championship. And
how's that going to work out this year?
Listen, we're not going to talk about that. There's no heart bracket this year. And then I have a head bracket, which is what I think is going to happen. And that game in which I think that Duke is going to lose always hurts that I have to pick that. So Sarah, we will start with you. How do you do multiple brackets? How do you usually pick the games?
I do multiple brackets, and like you, I mean, this is, it's like fantasy football. I have my fantasy winners, and obviously it's always Carolina. So I'm always going to do a bracket in which Carolina wins. But then I also go back through, and especially if it's a year that Carolina's not exactly done all that great, then I'll go through and say, all right, what's really going to happen? Your head bracket, as you call it. But I also do, I do multiple brackets because I need options. Like, that's who I am in life. I like to have contingency plans for everything. And so I also do a bracket, like an upset bracket.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well.
Yeah.
We love
so that's it. Usually I do 3, but if I get really crazy, I do 4. Why not? But usually 3 is what I do.
Yeah. And Audrey, how do you usually go about bracketing it up?
I like to do the head and the heart brackets. I never pick Duke. In fact, in my heart bracket, almost every time Duke probably goes out in the first round. But this year it doesn't really matter. Did they make it to the tournament? I don't think they did. That's
okay. So all right. So I know this is going to be a theme of tonight, and I understand this. I knew this going in, but if there had been a tournament last year, we all know Carolina wouldn't have made it to the tournament because they had like 11 or 12 losses.
Was there a tournament?
But no, there wasn't. And so all Carolina fans got an out because there wasn't a tournament last year.
Hey, but if one of the teams gets the COVID thing, maybe.
And I will say this: the last time Duke didn't make a tournament, they won the national championship the next year. So
I would like to point out the last time that happened was also in like 1995. So
it was sometime it wasn't that long ago, I don't think.
I'm pretty sure the last time they didn't make the tournament was like 95.
I'll look it up.
I want to say they were talking about it.
But I do know the next year they won the national championship. So
okay, I want that for you.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't want that for
right,
me. All right, and so I didn't actually say how I filled out the bracket. So I have my head and heart, but I also a couple years ago I filled out 4. I did an upset bracket, and then I did a straight chalk bracket where I just did the highest seed for every game. And chalk usually means like whoever is the higher seed wins, or whoever's supposed to wins.
That makes sense.
All right, so we have that. I'm going to share the screen. And
should we hum the Jeopardy theme while you do? I guess we can. I guess that's copyrighted. So
yeah, it's copywritten.
Could sing it.
All right, here we go. Do you all see the create your bracket thing?
Let's do it.
All right, I don't know what. All right, let's come up with a name.
I'm really digging Frederick. John Frederick O'Neill.
Hey, that was my daddy's name, so
I'm not making
some respect on my daddy's name.
It's a really fun name to say, Frederick.
Fred, yeah, it's my middle name, John Frederick O'Neill.
That's adorable.
All right,
that's real cute.
What's the name we're gonna go with? The ones that we were playing around with earlier are too long, so we have 18.
What about net worth? Or something like, oh shoot. Ha ha ha
ha.
Just
Sarah got the puns today. I'm kind of a fan of net worth myself.
All right. 2 words. Net worth. Here we go. Make my picks. We're not gonna do auto pick.
No, why would we do that? That's trashy.
Name has already been taken.
No.
I don't know how that's possible.
Net worth 2. No.
we could do like an anagram with all of our names. Like AJ, we could do like AJ's bracket, because like they're Audrey, John, Sarah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Sarah's out here throwing shade.
Why are we not using Frederick? Frederick free throws.
Frederick's free throws. That's incredible, actually.
Oh no.
Way too long. What did you put it? What did you do?
I don't know. 1 second.
What is it? See, this is why people that don't know technology.
Listen, I'm usually good at technology. I'm not necessarily good at other things.
Started.
If we were all fish, we could call it basketball or bass, like
basketball. Well, I was a baseball player, or I was a bass player.
Fun one.
That's good.
What did we say? Frederick's
3 free throws.
Why are we naming it after a boy?
Y'all came up with it.
Frederick is a fun name to say. It's gonna be too long. Dang it!
Wait, here we go.
You're just making it all one word.
It's way
11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. No.
I just yelled at my face.
Rip. Yeah, I don't know.
What about swish yourself? Go swish yourself. I don't know. Oh, it worked. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, go swish yourself.
You have a name. Yay.
I'm embarrassed for myself.
I am not embarrassed for you. I actually kind of love it. So
all right. I think it's very representative of who we are as people.
That is a fact. Yes.
All right, here we go. And we decided we're not going to do the playing games. We're just going to go with it. So we are in the West bracket. First game, Gonzaga versus the winner of App State versus Norfolk.
I mean, Gonzaga's going to win.
It doesn't matter the winner. Well, it does matter the winner. It matters for the winner or for whoever wins the Norfolk App State game. And clearly I have to cheer for App State.
See, clearly. I was going to say, I hope it's App State.
Okay, but then do we all think that App State's going to lose to Gonzaga?
Oh,
I mean, yes.
Yes.
But
sorry, Mountaineers.
I'm rooting for you for the play-in, and that's about it.
All right, so we're 1-for-1 in the games of quickly picking who's going to win that one. All right, 8-9, which is always a difficult one to pick.
Okay.
8-9, Oklahoma versus Mizzou.
Missouri. I gotta go Sooners. I'm sorry, I do.
Yeah, I gotta say I gotta go Sooners too, because if you're looking at if you look into the breakdown of what they're good at, their free throw percentage is at a solid 74% compared to Mizzou's 69%.
Yeah.
Their field goal average is about the same, a little lower, but their 3-point average is also 33.8 compared to 32. So I'm just gonna say that it's probably gonna be the Sooners. I'm with Sarah.
I agree with that, and I'm creating new this part so we can get a better idea of their stats. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I have Oklahoma as well.
Oklahoma.
All right, so we have our first 5-12, and every year I usually pick at least 2 5-12 upsets because there's always at least one. Yeah, but in saying that, I don't think UC Santa Barbara is going to beat Creighton.
Yeah, I think Creighton has that one. Creighton has a pretty good basketball team.
Yeah. Well, they are now in the Big East, which is weird to me, but here we go. All right. UVA versus Ohio.
I mean, listen, let me take this one. I am a strong supporter of Tony Bennett.
The singer? The singer?
Not the singer.
Oh, okay.
Well, coach, because if you look at his team, clearly they have excellent defense, but if you look at him, he'll never stop. It's Pringles. Once you start, you're just going to keep looking. He is a very pretty man. I mean, I know you're not supposed to base your predictions on that, but let's get real. I'm going to.
I mean,
that's very astute and very deep.
I'm not going to say I disagree. Because, I mean, every time he smiles, it just makes my heart happy.
Oh, me too. I have to pray afterwards. Because I know that resting is bad. After every game. Getting down on those knees. Thank dear Jesus, I'm so sorry.
We're going to go UVA on that
one. I agree. They play good defense, which is travelable and good in it. And good in a tournament style.
Just address the other aspect of this choice that we brought up, which is Coach Bennett.
He's a handsome man, I will tell you.
It's important, yeah.
But they did have to pull out of the ACC tournament because of COVID exposure. But
that doesn't mean that
nobody on the team got sick. I don't think. I think it was
they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not stressed.
But can we, let's, we can't base it on what he looks like. I have to do this for myself to justify my decision. I just don't think they can match up against Ohio.
I don't think so either.
I just really don't.
No. And I'm also picking UVA because that's one of my mom's favorite teams. So
cute.
Mine too.
Love that for you.
Ironically, for the same reason as me.
I don't necessarily know if that's the same thing for my mother. I know at one point she wanted to go to UVA, but whoever. All right, let's move on. Our 6-11 matchup is USC, the West Coast version, Southern California, against the winner of the Wichita State Drake team. So I think Wichita State is going to beat Drake. And Wichita State is always a tournament team. But let's look. I don't know either one of these teams.
So, okay. It's
So
saying so USC has a stronger strength of schedule, which I think is important.
Well, yeah, Wichita State is basically a mid-major, or they're a mid-major, so they're always going to have a weaker.
Well, also USC has at least has a 2-point lead on Wichita State in terms of points per game. And then
look at their shooting percentage. I mean,
yeah, their field goal percentage is not great. Wichita's sitting at 40.8. I mean, USC is only at 46.7, but that's still significantly better.
Yeah. Although the free throw percentage for Wichita State is good.
I mean, it's about the, but it's barely better. It's about the same. Oh wait,
yeah, they're both terrible. So there's going to be there's going to be a lot of misses there at the end of the game. Let's see who shoots threes better.
Ball games. Let me just repeat myself.
Especially in March,
free throws win ball games.
And they're pretty much the same in 3 points.
Carolina fans know this to be 100% true, that free throws matter.
Painfully true.
Yes. I'm not
yeah. So I'm leaning USC because they have more points per game, but they also have more points in the paint per game. So I think they can take over. Are we all on USC?
Yes.
To win that? All right. So far we're chalk and we all pretty much agree. So here we go.
Early.
It is early.
It is very early.
That third bracket we go over is going to be real fun.
Oh boy.
So 3-14 Kansas versus, I don't even know, Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
Is that what that is? Yeah, Eastern Washington.
Yeah. I mean, I've said Kansas from the beginning.
Me too. Although according to this, they're lower on everything. Kansas has had an off year this year compared to what they usually have, much like all the other Blue Bloods.
However, let us pepper in the fact that Eastern Washington has played no top 25 teams. They've played 0 top 25 teams.
I don't even know what conference they're in.
I don't either. Oh, it says B Sky, Big
Sky.
Big Sky.
Which is like Montana. I don't know. I'm making stuff up now. But
I don't know either. I'm just gonna, and also if you look at strength of schedule, Kansas is chilling at 15th compared to East Washington, who is at 223rd.
Is that Luna? Luna or Cooper?
Luna. Cooper is sleeping.
She's arguing for Kansas.
So this is one thing I wish I could see is I would like to see who has the more veteran team, and if Kansas is just full of a bunch of like freshmen and sophomores, because this early round is when those teams that have a bunch of seniors upset those teams that have a bunch of freshmen and sophomores. I mean, but I agree with y'all. I think it's Kansas.
Yeah. Also, I mean, Kansas does have a lot of people hurt.
Yeah.
But
they are also under like FBI investigation. Not that this has anything to do with this.
Oh, it's like it's Shades of Louisville. You love that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Kansas. I think it's one of those things where Kansas wins because they just have players who are just better.
Yeah.
Like they just have more raw talent. All right, let's move on to 7-10 Oregon versus VCU. Again, two teams I know nothing about.
Well, I've watched some of the Oregon games and they can carry themselves.
Yeah.
Like that's a good team.
I like their floor.
Well, that is important, especially when you fall on it. You have to like what you're falling on.
But it has nothing to do when you're in a neutral site.
No.
I want to pick VCU for an upset here, but like looking at the stats, I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I really think the only The only thing that's better on VCU side is the free throw percentage, and it's better by 6%. So I mean, it's not going to be an upset.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be Oregon.
I agree.
Yeah.
But we haven't picked an upset yet. I feel like I'm not truly in the spirit of March Madness because I haven't picked an upset yet.
Well, as we have said before, it's early.
It is
You're
early.
right.
It is early. All right. So the 2:15 matchup is Iowa versus Grand Canyon. Go Grand Canyon.
Go Grand Canyon.
That's not who I'm picking, though. I'm picking Iowa with their player of the year, Luka Garza, who's like averaging like 28 points a game or something like that. I don't know. I'm not looking at stats. But
wait, Luka Garza, points per game, 23.7.
It's close. Yeah.
Yeah, you're close. Their key player scores 14 points per game. So
yeah, what are you using to look up stats and stuff like that?
Mine's popping up. I'm on the CBS
Sports. Okay.
Yeah. It's nice. It's given me its strength of schedule is just very stark difference here. It's second for Iowa and 260th.
Yeah, I don't even I didn't know that Grand Canyon had classes in person. I've always heard like advertisements of like online school. Obviously they do because they have sports, but
yes, yeah.
I apologize to anybody who goes to Grand Canyon University who's listening to my theater pod.
Yeah, you're just like dragging an entire college.
I hear it's a pretty big school. You get a I don't know.
Oh, that's amazing.
You're welcome.
That's the type of information. That's the type of stuff you can get here at I almost said stand by go. That's not this podcast.
I will say, here's the thing. According to the NCAA NCAA March Madness website, they're actually saying that Grand Canyon is the number 15 seed to continue. Like they've gone through and they've picked like one of each seed to vote for and why. And I just kind of want to scroll through this and kind of read what they have to say about it a little bit. This is, first of all, we all love an underdog because this is their first appearance in NCAA.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we root for that? Defensively, they hold opponents to an effective field goal percentage of 44.9%, and they rank in the top 15 in defensive rebounding percentage. So there's reason to believe that they could potentially slow down Iowa's offense more than one might think. I mean, obviously 15 seeds usually have a very minimal chance of getting past the first round, but I also would argue that this could be our first upset.
What a wild ride that would be.
Yeah, we'll call this one Mr. Toad. You know, it's a wild ride. I'm full of them tonight. I'm full of them. I've been doing online university all day.
This is your escape for the day.
Thank you, Jesus. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it sounds like there's something to consider.
Yeah. Well, while you consider that, I'm going to give you some information via my favorite website to get information, Wikipedia, on Grand Canyon University.
Oh, yes. Give me some information.
So their motto is "Find Your Purpose."
Do it.
Which means I feel like their song should be "Purpose" from Avenue Q. Purpose. It's a little thing. They're in Phoenix, Arizona. They have 25,000 students on campus.
What? Wow.
90,000 students online. So they are urban, and their colors are purple, black, and white. Cute. They're in the Western Athletic Conference, which is, that side of the country. I was going to try and think of other.
Very good, John.
I was going to try and come up with other schools, but I can't think of them all of a sudden.
We love geography.
That other side of the country. Cool.
The western side of the country. Their campus is 101 acres.
Nice. Told you it's big. Okay.
Their newspaper is GCU Today, and their mascot,
Give it to me.
their nickname are the Antelopes or the Lopes.
We love that.
And their mascot is Thunder the Antelope.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Can we please? Can we just put the lopes in because we're trying to find our purpose?
Yeah, so we're putting in Grand Canyon over Iowa.
I mean, logically it doesn't make sense, but my heart feels good about it.
All right. So yeah. So, oh nope. Sorry. There we go. Grand Canyon.
Okay.
All right. Let's go on to the second round of this West bracket. We have. Let's work our way from the bottom to the top. So Oregon versus Grand Canyon.
Sorry, GCU.
Yeah, Oregon's got it. That's not a question.
GCU can be that good story for 2 days and then get beaten by, especially since it's their first time in the tournament.
Yeah.
All right, we have Southern Cal versus Kansas.
I have to go Kansas.
Yeah,
I agree.
I
mean that USC is another one of those teams that you do have to watch. Like of the numbers of the 6th seed.
Yeah.
They're one that you really do have to watch because I mean they've got some pretty good 2-point shooting stats.
Yeah. Also, the Pac-12 Conference Player of the Year is freshman Evan Mobley of USC's team.
There we go. All right. So the 4-5. I mean, are we going to talk about this, or we just think that Virginia and the Tony Bennetts are going to win?
Oh. I mean, Virginia's the better team.
Do you want to argue that they should change from their mascot from the Cavaliers to the Tony Bennetts?
Yes.
Just
that's a given.
All right. And then our 1-8, Gonzaga versus Oklahoma.
I mean, Zags are going to win. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to laugh when we put Gonzaga as the national champion and then they pull a Carolina and lose in the first round.
I mean, I just can't. It's too much. It's too much.
Sarah's upset.
All right. So,
real upset.
So the Sweet 16 for the West bracket, we have Gonzaga and Virginia, who I'm pretty sure have already played this year.
Ooh, let's find out.
Yeah, I feel like they played way early.
UVA 2021.
Working.
Are you working 9 to 5?
I'm
working 9 to 5.
Oh, maybe I was lying. Maybe they didn't.
Oh, good.
No, I was incorrect. They
yes,
have played.
Yes, they did. They did play them this year. They played them on December 26th at 4 p.m.
That's why.
And they lost by an aggressive amount.
Who lost?
UVA. UVA lost by an.
Well, yeah, because Gonzaga is undefeated. Oh, there it is. I just didn't see them.
Terrible Christmas present.
Oh yeah, they beat them by 23 points. Yeah.
Yes, it was 98-75. So
I tell you what, Baylor's not Baylor. Gonzaga is undefeated, but the teams they have beaten this year, I mean, they beat Kansas, West Virginia, Baylor, Iowa, Virginia. Yeah. So I'm going Gonzaga over Virginia, as much as that would break my mom's heart.
I know. I want Tony to get into. We got Tony to the Sweet 16. I just don't know that we can put him in the Elite 8. I just don't know that I can do it.
We can take Tony all the way to the final. We can just leave it.
You don't need to take his team.
Yeah,
Tony can go. Right, Tony can come anywhere with me. Tony.
Oh, that is very much suggestive.
Call me Tony.
All right, and on that note, we're going to Kansas versus Oregon.
I still have to say Kansas.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, and then in the Elite 8 of the West bracket to go to the Final Four, we have number 1 Gonzaga versus number 3 Kansas.
Let's compare, shall we? Let's compare.
I'm also going to look at the first game they played, which was the first game of the season.
Record versus the top 25. Gonzaga's 4-0, but Kansas is 8-6. So Kansas is about 50-50, but they've had more experience with the top 25.
Yeah. Well, that's
Kansas
because of the conferences they play in.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Kansas does have a better strength of schedule, but Gonzaga scores almost 20 more points per game.
They are an offensive juggernaut this year.
So I gotta you gotta look at free throws because free throws win ball games.
72.6 to 71.
Yeah. So they're about equally matched on that. Field goal percentage is Gonzaga's chilling at 55.1 compared to 44.0. That's an 11-point difference. That's pretty big.
Well, and the Zags are have the chance to become the first undefeated national champion in Indiana.
Let's do it.
Since Indiana when Bobby Knight was there, yeah.
So I kind of, that's reason enough to root.
Storyline.
Also reason enough to root against them, depending on which way you want to look at it. But
I almost always root for an undefeated season.
But there's another aspect of this that we haven't considered.
What?
Okay.
Clearly the Bulldog is the better mascot.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, there's no question. Absolutely no question.
That right there wins you games.
I mean, I have a Bulldog tattooed on me. So I agree with that. You didn't know that?
I did know that.
So
I knew Audrey did, but Sarah looked like she didn't know.
So John, can you give us the Zag Wag? How would that look?
The Zag Wag.
I don't know what the Zag Wag is.
I don't either. I just made it up.
Oh, okay.
Copyright, trademark, TM.
Although I will tell you, not that this would happen in the tournament because there's not a ton of like student fans who will be there, but the Rock Chalk Jayhawk chant when they're at their place is pretty cool. But neutral court, whatever. I like the storyline. I like the coach. Gonzaga. This will be the second game of a weekend, and it's hard to prepare for a team like Gonzaga is this year on like one full day off.
Yeah, you're right.
So Gonzaga to the Final Four.
Yep.
Go Zags.
All right, there's our West bracket. Let's go down to our East bracket.
To the East.
The first round, so we have Michigan, the number one seed, with Juwan Howard of the Fab Five on as their head coach. So 1 versus 16 is Michigan versus, I don't even know what the name of it. Oh, Mount St. Mary's versus Texas Southern. So I'm just going to go ahead and say Michigan is not going to become the second Virginia to lose the 1/16 match.
Oh gosh, wow, that was a throwback. What a time.
But they're okay. They ended up winning the national championship the next year, so it's all right.
Yeah, they're fine.
All right. LSU versus St. Bonaventure.
Okay, I would like to point out that users have picked 30% to go with St. Bon is what I'm going to call them versus LSU, but St. Bon has a higher net rank. I'm just going to throw that there. I'm going to leave it.
Well, but LSU is that number 8 seed that you really got to pull for. Like, of all of the number 8s, you got to go for them. But then again, all of the 8 seeds are like, there's a reasonable argument for why you should choose all of them and for legitimate reasons, But
what I heard in listening to sports radio the other day is that like LSU sometimes decides not to turn it on, like not to.
They play to the level of their opponent.
Yeah,
sometimes. They pull a Carolina, as it were.
Ooh, too soon.
Oof.
I feel like they had a pretty big like upset in their conference tournament.
Who, LSU did?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that.
Well, I mean, you've got some people like Cameron Thomas coming from LSU that, I mean, their offense, they've got a top 5 offense at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, CBS is saying if you're looking for a true Sweet 16 sleeper out of a power conference that has NBA talent, LSU is a prime candidate.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I'm fine going with LSU. I think that's Cameron Thomas is averaging like 22 points per game compared to their key player who's scoring 14. I mean, the numbers for sure are in LSU's direction.
Yeah. I couldn't find if they had that upset that I was thinking they might have had, but it doesn't matter. We all picked LSU. Yeah. All right. So 5-12, Colorado versus Georgetown. Now, Georgetown did just win the Big East with Patrick Ewing as their coach. And they won the Big East championship game by a large number.
Also, let's compare the strength of schedule between Colorado and Georgetown. 7th for Georgetown compared to 63rd for Colorado.
Yeah. I think this is going to be the first 5-12 upset.
I'm good with that.
I mean, who was it? Was it Patrick Ewing that went to Georgetown? Was that?
Yeah, he went to Georgetown.
I mean, he did lead them to the NCAA tournament back in the Big East tournament run.
No, go Sarah.
No, it's fine. I had nothing, important to say.
Their key, I'll say their key players are pretty equally matched. In terms of points per game, they're both chilling around 15 and some change. If you look at like free throw percentage, Colorado is better on the line. But I mean, in terms of 3-pointers and just regular field goal percentage, they're pretty evenly matched. I would be fine putting Georgetown as a 12 upset here.
I would kind of agree with that, because I think what got Colorado such a high seed is the fact that they got a first round draw.
That'll do it.
So I mean, I'm good with Georgetown.
All right.
Our first big upset. Well, I guess it's not our first big upset.
Shout out to the
Grand Canyon.
I love the Antelopes.
But I feel like the first upset that we have that could actually happen is Georgetown over Colorado.
Listen, give me that motto for George Canyon.
Find your purpose.
George Canyon. Find your purpose. George Canyon.
Purpose is a little flame.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So we're coming closer to home. We have UNC Greensboro versus Florida State. I almost said Fayetteville State. Wrong FSU. Florida State.
Wrong.
Florida State and UNCG.
Listen, I have seen UNCG in action, and their defense is so good.
Did you go to the SoCon tournament this year?
No, I normally do. It's like a holiday for me. I usually buy, passes for every game and go and just take the time off work to do it. But because that wasn't really an option this year, I didn't get to. But in the past, like UNCG, every single year, their defense has me on the edge of my seat. Like they can pull it out.
I think this will be a low scoring game. Because both teams are really good defensively. When I was watching Florida State versus Georgia Tech in the ACC tournament a couple of days ago, I just looked and the score was like somewhere in the 30s versus somewhere in the 20s, or maybe it was 30s and 40s, and it was a second half score. Like it was a really low scoring game. Which means that if both teams are low scoring, then there could be the upset for UNCG. So we have the Seminoles versus Spartans. I mean, who would win in a fight between a Seminole and a Spartan?
I really don't want to say Florida, because I don't pull for Florida. I pull for Disney World. That's about the only part of Florida that I will ever pull for, but it's not an option in this particular scenario. But when you look at FSU's net ranking, like it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. And also Greensboro hasn't played any top 25 teams. Strength of schedule.
Yeah, so here's one notable thing about strength of schedule this year that you have to keep in mind is a lot of teams and conferences didn't play out of conference. So like typically a UNCG would play one of Carolina or like one of the big Power 5 schools. And so that's one thing about mid majors this year is they didn't get a chance to play Power 5s.
That's fair.
So I mean, it's I feel like it's typically a good thing to look at and look into in a normal year. But I don't know about SoCon, but the Big South didn't play anybody out of conference.
I'm with Sarah in that I don't want to pick the FSU team, but
I mean, I've got an incredible friend that teaches there, and I support him fully. But that's about it.
Yeah, same.
I can't
say
I don't
even have a friend.
I know.
Support your friend.
I'll be your friend. I mean, I know what has to happen in this matchup. I just can't bring myself to say it.
All right, you know what to do, John.
All right, FSU.
Hit that button. Don't really need the S when you're talking about that team, do you? I liked that a lot. Thank you.
All right. Down we have BYU versus Michigan State UCLA, which is going to be a really interesting playing game or first round matchup. I mean, I don't see Tom Izzo losing that game.
I don't see Tom Izzo losing it either.
So I think it'll be BYU versus Michigan State. And I have no idea about BYU, like none. I didn't watch them play. I haven't really heard anything. The only thing I've heard about them was that they kind of gave Gonzaga a game in the last game of the year.
They've got better percentages across the board for field goal, 3-pointers, and free throws. That being said, free throw percentage is really close. But the net rank is significantly higher for BYU.
I mean, only 50 points. That's not a whole lot.
Yeah. Points per game, they're ahead of Tom Izzo by a good bit.
Well, and they've got a better number for defense as well.
This is one of those, and this is before I even look at anything. This is one of those times where it's just hard for me to pick against Tom Izzo.
I know.
I mean, even if his team is super low, even if they haven't done well all this year, it's still really hard for me to.
I know, but we also don't know if they're gonna win, right? And my argument is, I mean, they're gonna win, but we don't know that.
Yeah.
And what if Tom Izzo has a really bad game, and then what if UCLA can't match up to BYU? I don't think.
Well, here's the thing. Looking ahead, I don't think it really matters who we pick for the winner of this game because they're not going to beat the winner
of the next game.
Yeah, you're right.
So we're going to go with BYU.
The Stormin' Mormons. Let's go.
Let's go. Stormin' Mormons. All right.
What's the original title for Book of Mormon?
A storm.
But they had to change it at the last minute. No, I'm totally.
Is that real?
No, it's not real. But it sounded.
I was gonna lose it if that was real. That was gonna make me laugh a lot. Would have
been great.
Wow, incredible. Okay.
All right. Down to our next one, we have number 3 Texas and number 4. I have to look down because I don't know what ACU means. Abilene Christian.
14, not 4.
What did I say 4? Oh, sorry. 3 versus 14. We have a battle of Texas.
All right.
And
Longhorns.
That's great. I loved it. Well done. Okay, thanks. I'm gonna go first just because I there are things I need to say. My dog is on my side.
Yeah, Luna's validating your things to say.
Very, very much so validating. Come here, please. Thank you. Okay, so first of all, if you look at ACU and their logo, basically what they have done is ripped off Western Carolina. And it's straight up WCU. I'm not okay with that.
That's insane. That's literally an A instead of a W.
Yeah, and there's just literally a little bit. The purple is a little bit darker, and there's a little bit less gold.
Wild.
So there's my first issue. That's my first issue. I don't care which one of them came up with it first. I'm just gonna always I can't support it. Number 2, so one of my kiddos, I still call him a kiddo. He's a very good looking human. But he was one of my youth group kids when
I see. Okay.
When I worked at my former church. He is now a grad assistant coach there at Texas. And
oh, cool.
I sent him a text the other day. I'm like, hey, I'm getting ready to do a bracket. How far do you think I should take Texas? And he's just like, follow your heart, honey. Follow your heart. But
man.
I still think between this, I think that we have to pick Texas for this. I mean,
I agree with you.
I mean, but then again, ACU's defense numbers are better. But again, like with the last matchup, look at the net ranking. It's 21 versus 74. I mean, that's a huge difference. I can't believe I'm ever pulling for Texas. But it's hot down there. But here we are.
Well, the head basketball coach at UNC Asheville used to be an assistant coach under Shaka Smart at Texas and VCU. And Texas also has the story of the player who like had cancer a few years ago and then came back and is now doing the thing at Texas. And yeah, I mean, I think the Longhorns are going to win this. Yeah. And how dare Abilene Christian
okay, y'all
steal Western's stuff?
While we're talking about logos, can I please let me flip my camera around because this is wild. Okay, we're flipping and we're going. Okay,
those are blinds.
All right, yes. Okay, so shout out to Abilene Christians from 1997 to 2012. Now 2013 into now. Now let us flip to Western Carolina.
We've had that logo.
Shout out to their old logo who looks the exact same.
I knew I'd seen it. Listen, it's sister colleges, I guess, but we all know, being that, I'm a grad of Western and I kind of work there, I'm clearly going to, support Western in this situation.
Yeah.
Indeed. I agree. I agree.
I pressed Texas about 2 minutes ago, so.
Okay, I don't need your snark.
Yeah.
All right.
Sassafras.
He's just like moving on.
And 7-10, we have UConn versus Maryland.
UConn
is the number 7 seed pick. And I mean, do we all remember what happened the last time that UConn was a number 7 seed?
No, remind me.
Is that the year they beat Duke in the Final Four?
Wait.
Or the year that they won?
No, I don't remember. I was literally asking.
Oh, no.
I thought that you were like
I thought you were setting me up for something. That was a long time. I was in high school when that happened.
I know. But I don't know. I still think we got to look at UConn.
To lose?
Also,
no.
I feel
I see what you're saying.
That Maryland left the ACC in 2013. Lame. Big old lamos. So I'm gonna go with UConn.
Yeah.
Because no one likes a terrapin.
No, everybody likes a dog. But here's the thing, even though UConn had a shortened season, they've proven that they can have a 4 or 5 game consecutive run, which is what you got to have in order to take yourself on to the Final Four. We know this. So I think that they've got a better chance.
Agreed.
Sorry, Maryland. I know that, connected to you is the capital of our country, but I have to go with UConn on this.
No one likes a terrapin. Cooper agrees.
Oh,
Cooper. I don't have a dog to show you all. Anyway, and our last, we have Alabama versus Iona.
Thank God it's not football.
I literally was just like, Alabama, because of football.
But so Alabama actually has the lowest number 2 efficiency margin of any of the number 2 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's valid.
But I don't know.
The Gales.
what was their winning streak this year? Was it like 10 or 11 games in a row they had a winning streak?
Well, Alabama.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
They're 9-1 in the last 10 games.
Did they win the SEC championship?
I don't know. Let's check.
I feel like they did.
I want to hear it. I just don't want to talk about it. I just have issues. Again, I say
it's not even football. I have issues too, Sarah.
I do too. Well, and you know what? Well, I'll make a note, Audrey, to tell you what I really want to tell you that's not podcast appropriate as to why I just can't pull for Crimson Tide.
Okay.
That's all I'll say. I just can't do it.
I support you. To answer your question, John, yes, Alabama did win the SEC title. They beat LSU by 1 point.
Oh, okay.
And this is the 7th trophy in the SEC tournament trophy in Crimson Tide history, and the first in 30 years.
Yeah.
Since 1991.
I mean, Alabama's defense is one of the best it's second best in the country right now.
Yeah.
Bases and offense alone is enough to choose them. I mean, I think we know what we have to do here.
You can get tickets to this game for as low as $224.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's so nice. I love that.
$124. Wow, that's like
all right. We're gonna click Alabama and go on to the second round. Let's go.
This is where it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
We're gonna go back up. So Alabama versus UConn.
I mean, sorry, Alabama's gonna take it.
Although it's interesting, according to this, they have UConn at a 49.2 out of 100 over Alabama's 44.4. But they also played a lot fewer games, so their stats are a little bit.
Strength of schedule, I know that we're taking it with a grain of salt, but is a lot better.
Look at their ranking.
Net ranking is also a lot better. And then also, I mean, like literally in the matchup analysis, the only place that UConn beats Alabama is in the opponent points per game, which I don't think is a relevant metric at all.
I honestly think they're almost equally matched in terms of their defense, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, that's valid. I'm here for that.
Yeah, their field goal percentage are pretty much the same. Free throw percentage is so close.
I mean, UConn's slightly better in terms of 3-pointers and free throw percentage, but I mean, it's not enough for it to matter, I don't think.
Yeah. So we're going Bama.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna matter in the long run, in my opinion, but I know I shouldn't say that. I probably should not say that because every game matters. It really does, because these kids are out there working their butts off.
There are no small games, only small athletes.
This is true.
All right. BYU versus Texas. I'm gonna go with Longhorns here.
I'm going to go with Longhorns too, but I just want to point out that what went through my head when we were talking about this. So at Western, we, our initials are WCU. We have this little motto that it really stands for, we carry umbrellas, because it somehow always rains. And I just, what went through my head when you said BYU is bring your umbrella.
Bring your umbrella.
Either that or bring your underwear. I just don't know which one it would be.
Ooh.
So we got two for Texas. Do we have a third?
I mean, I guess. The thing, but like
we have a reluctant Texas.
I'm looking at I'm not going to convince both of you. It's not going to happen. So I'm just going to take the L. But like, I'm looking at this team comparison right now. Net rank neck and neck.
Oh yeah.
Strength of schedule, BYU has a stronger schedule. They score more points per game, and they've got a better field goal percentage, a better 3-point percentage, and a better free throw percentage. I mean, like statistics wise, they're better than they're better than Texas at every step. And even if you look at their key players, points per game, Alex Barcelo's chilling at 15.9 compared to Andrew Jones's 14.6.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Texas currently
I hear you, but like, no.
I support your decision, but here's what's going to happen. Okay. No, I mean, the Longhorns currently sit with a 5-1 odds.
Okay. Valid.
Like, I know we can't always go by odds, but I mean, I, for one, would love to see a Texas-Alabama matchup.
I mean,
in basketball. In basketball. That's
fair.
Yeah.
All right.
And this really, like, this has a chance for it to be like a real, like, football feel in the basketball if LSU, FSU, Texas, and Bama all make it to the Sweet 16, this bracket is like, what are we doing? Playing football or playing basketball?
Fair enough.
I will scream basketball from the ceiling because I don't have to look at Nick Saban. Excuse me, I'm sorry, that was horrible, but I'm not a fan. I'm not.
Your Western North, your West North Carolina's coming out, Sarah.
I know it does. When I get very passionate, it does.
All right, moving on. All right, moving on. 4-12, Florida State. I almost said Fayetteville State. It's never a Fayetteville State. Florida State and Georgetown.
I mean, I don't want to go first. I don't.
I know what I want it to be, but I know what it's gonna be.
I'm right there with you. Like, I don't know how you feel about this, John, but like, I feel like we could save ourselves like 5 minutes here and just go FSU.
We want Georgetown to win, but we think FSU is going to win.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
And then Michigan versus LSU, which is like a good national championship game, except Michigan football never plays well. So.
I mean, I don't. Good job of LSU for making it this far in what we have to say, but I really don't think that Michigan or LSU is going to beat.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't either.
Don't see that happening.
So we're going for the top 4 seeds to make it to the Sweet 16 in the East. No, we do, because we got Michigan, FSU, and then Texas, Alabama. Yeah, this is also a good looking football weekend if we ever get one like this. All right, the first one, Sweet 16, Michigan State versus Florida State. Or sorry, Michigan versus Florida State.
Yeah, careful now. Those 5 words.
Michigan.
I mean, I think that'll actually be a pretty good matchup, but I also think Michigan's going to take it.
Yeah, I think it is a matchup of strengths. Michigan's offense versus Florida State's defense. Really, I would be happy with either one of these teams winning.
I wouldn't.
Because I actually do like Florida State's coach.
Tammy.
But I'm good with Michigan.
I mean, Florida State's coach is fine. I'm just not a fan of Florida State. And I'm not a fan of how their athletic department conducted themselves with a certain player in football.
Well, but then I agree with that. But then we get into the argument of, can you bring football into basketball? Which I guess the answer is yes.
But it's the entire athletic department. And how does the athletic department treat athletes and other students at their school?
I mean, you don't have to convince me. You know, I'm going Michigan for this.
Oh yes, I'm also going.
We've clicked Michigan. Now we're on to Texas and Bama.
I just needed my hot take to be heard.
That's fine. I appreciate that, and I support it. I really do. I want to see this game happen. I really want to see this game happen, and I really want Texas to win for many reasons because I think they deserve it. I think that they've worked their butts off this year.
Yeah.
But
didn't they win the Maui Invitational that was played here in Asheville?
Yes, they did. And what's so funny is that my kiddo that I was talking about, his mom lives in Hawaii and works as a travel nurse now.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
So it's like so perfect for them. I got so excited. But I know I would love to see that game, but I think when it all comes down to it, I think Bama's going to take him simply probably on defense alone.
I agree.
I mean, I can make an argument for either team, but yeah, I feel the same. And then we have Michigan and Alabama. I think Michigan would win this game.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
by a lot.
All right, so we have half of our Final Four set, both number 1 seeds, Gonzaga and Michigan. Wow. And you know what? I'm going to make y'all wait. We're going to go with the Midwest bracket.
That's rude.
That's all right. Save the best for last.
Yeah, accurate.
Yeah.
All right.
At least we were in the tournament.
You know, I understand.
It had just been a while since we brought that up. I just didn't want you to get too hot-headed. I'm a big believer in humility.
I just got to do the nice little hair flip for you.
Oh yes, since this is also a theater nerds do sports, we have to give it the toss. Toss.
Anyway, we have our 116 matchup with the surprising 1 seed in Illinois. They would be playing Drexel. Yeah. I don't know why I had to look that hard at that. Illinois versus Drexel. I don't see a 116 upset at all in this tournament. So I'm gonna go ahead and click Illinois. And then the 8-9, we have Loyola Chicago versus the ACC tournament champions, Georgia Tech.
I was just gonna say Georgia Tech's coming in hot off of an ACC win.
They are on a hot streak right now.
Yeah, this is a tough choice for me because I'm not gonna lie, I would actually like to see either one of these teams take it.
Yeah,
I'm good with both. I think that Georgia Tech is going to take it, and I guess when it comes down to it, I'm pulling a little bit harder for them. But I would be fine with Loyola as well.
I agree. I would agree with that.
Yeah, they're on a 9-game win streak right now.
But when you look at it, Loyola's defense is better. Like when you look at the stats.
But again, I think that's one of those, like, who are they playing type of things.
Well, I also have I could also argue against Georgia Tech and say I have a huge phobia of bees and I prefer dogs. So we've got to go with Loyola. I can make an argument for whatever it does, as long as you don't set certain parameters for me.
I think that I can agree with Sarah that I think that I would be fine with either team in this one. However, I think,
and if we're gonna play the game right, like if we get it wrong, do we think either one of those teams is gonna beat Illinois?
No, I don't think so.
So I mean, we'd only be screwed for one game. Yeah. Not that it matters. I think Georgia Tech's gonna win though, because the game they played against FSU, it was a hard fought game. And they felt real good about it. So they're going to be riding on a high from that, I think.
Yeah, I want him to take it. I want him to take that game.
All right. Do we need to even talk about this next game? Or are we just going to go ahead and put Tennessee in?
No, we don't. We're going to put Tennessee right on up there. I'm going to volunteer to put Tennessee up there. There it is. Sorry. Moving on.
Moving on.
Incredible.
4-13. We have Oklahoma State and Liberty. I personally always root against Liberty. I never pick them to win for a multitude of reasons. One being they used to be in the Big South and a big rival of UNC Asheville. Also, Oklahoma State upset Baylor in the tournament. So,
I'm all about Oklahoma State. I mean, we've already picked Oklahoma. Why not go for Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Okay.
All right. So moving on, right on to San Diego State and Syracuse.
I hate Jim Boeheim, so we're going San Diego State.
No, you cannot do that. Syracuse, you got it. That's the number 11 seed pick.
No, I hate Jim Boeheim. I'm sure that it's the pick, but Jim Boeheim sucks. Sorry, I needed to get that out of my system.
I mean,
but I mean, if we're gonna pick an upset, I think that you're right. That's the one.
Well, and Syracuse has got a pretty decent history. What was it, like 2015, 2016? They were like a number 10 seed, and they made that Final Four run.
It was in 2016. In 2016, they made it to the Elite Eight, or did they made it to the Final Four? Carolina played them in the Final Four, I think.
Yeah, they made it pretty far because Alexa's a huge Syracuse fan, and I remember she and I were arguing quite heavily that day. Carolina versus.
I can't imagine why.
No, I can't either at all.
And that zone defense is always difficult to get ready for with that length.
I think that I guess I'm more excited about what would happen in the second round if Syracuse wins, because I personally think I know who's going to take the next, who they would be against, and I would love to see that game. I think that game, like offensive rebounding, and would be great for that next game. I'm sorry. I know we have to agree, but I don't know how that can happen.
Fine. It's like what can I can sing "Someone Gets Hurt" from Mean Girls.
Till someone gets hurt.
It's fine for you.
Okay. Yeah, and so we go in Syracuse,
I guess.
All right, you can rub it in our faces if
my heart hurts a little bit because Jim Boeheim sucks, but I mean, it's fine.
I do have a fascination with earthquakes, and as we know, that whole like fault line situation for San Diego is pretty hot, and so I can support that.
I did not know you were a big fan of earthquakes.
I love that for you.
This is gonna sound terrible. It's gonna sound terrible, but I have a fascination with natural disasters. Like I grew up even wanting to be a tornado chaser.
That's amazing. Did you like the movie Twister?
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I
used to try to copy Helen Hunt's look. I wanted to be able to pull off a white tank top and khakis, but I'm very pale in general, and it did not work for me.
I love that. I love that.
John, right. You knew what happened. You knew it would happen.
What?
We were going to, sometimes divert from the actual topic.
Oh, yeah. I know who I'm talking to. All right, next we have West Virginia versus Morehead State. Just gonna go ahead and click West Virginia.
Yeah,
agree with that.
And then we have Clemson versus Rutgers, our 7-10 matchup.
I'm calling an upset here. I'm calling this for Rutgers.
Okay.
I can see it happen.
They haven't made the tournament since like 91.
Yeah, let's go for it. I'm here for it. Wow, we are just like pulling against the ACC.
Yeah, we are. And then the 2-15 matchup is Houston versus Cleveland State. I know nothing about either of these teams other than the fact that Houston is 24-3.
Yeah, also I don't care.
Woof. And also Houston, just like by a long shot, is better than Cleveland State.
And everything? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back up. We have Rutgers versus Houston.
Let's compare the two of them.
They're both red.
Wow, incredible.
Well,
Thank you.
I think one is a little like they're different hues involved.
Yeah, they're not the same red, but
same but different.
We have New Jersey versus Texas.
Okay, so net rank, Houston's chilling at 5th. They have a 1-0 record versus the top 25 versus a 1-7 record for Rutgers. Houston's beaten them points per game at 77 compared to 70.
Yeah, and they're holding opponents to under 60 points a game.
Yeah, which is important.
Houston plays at one of the slowest tempos in the whole country. Like I just think that slow tempo we know means fewer possessions and fewer margin for error. I don't know.
Kelvin Sampson is their coach, John.
Oh, Kelvin Sampson, yeah. He used to coach at Oklahoma. think that's right.
I don't know the answer to that, but okay.
Yeah, I would take. I think I would take Houston over Rutgers.
I don't think so. I just don't.
You take Rutgers over Houston?
I would. I do. I mean,
I've got
because they're playing at such a slow tempo, like there's going to be more margin for error. Like they're going to screw up. I just really think that possessions are going to win that game. That's just how I feel.
How are they at free throws? 63%.
free throws win ball games.
Especially if it's close down towards the end.
Oh.
7, and I'm just gonna say Houston's chilling at 74% free throw percentage compared to 63 for Rutgers.
I mean, here's the thing. I've still got my own bracket, and I've still got Rutgers taking that game in my bracket. So I'm fine. I can concede.
All right, cool. This can be your Syracuse.
I don't think that's fair, but that's fine.
I don't like Jim Boeheim, and I agreed to put Syracuse in the second round for you.
Hey, wow.
Yeah, but Sarah doesn't have a personal reason for not having.
This is true. Mine is solely based on the game, which is kind of what we're doing here.
Whatever.
So are we taking West Virginia over Syracuse?
I think so.
Yeah, I would. Yes.
Okay. And then we have Oklahoma State and Tennessee, which is a 4-5 matchup, which could be interesting.
We know who I want. Good old Rocky Top. Woo!
Sarah, the numbers are not in your favor, my dear.
I don't care. You know what? In Hunger Games, they were always saying, may the odds be ever in your favor, and half the time they weren't. So
wow, we made a literary relation. Wow, sports balls for everybody.
Bridges the gap, man. It's next to music. I don't care what the stats say. I follow my heart. Isn't that a song from You're in Town?
Yes. For me, I follow.
It goes on forever. I don't like it, but it goes on forever. But it works.
Dylan and I love that song.
I know that the numbers don't necessarily match up.
But sometimes in this, you just got to go with your heart, and then you get heartbroken.
Well, John, what does your heart say? I guess you're the tiebreaker in this one.
I mean, but the only reason why I'm leaning towards Oklahoma State is because I've seen them play. I haven't seen Tennessee play this year.
You just made me choose Houston over Rutgers, and now you're going to do this to me? Like, I may as well just stop. It doesn't matter. Tennessee's not going to make it to the Sweet 16. So
I mean, I wanted to put.
Well, if they win this game, they will.
No, they're not going to win the Sweet 16.
Oh, gotcha. They're going to make it past the Sweet 16. I mean, I'm okay with picking Tennessee, to be honest with you. I haven't seen them play this year, but
I mean, okay, let's look at the coloring here.
I like bright orange better than darker orange.
That orange is so much better than what we've got. We've got like almost burnt sienna happening here.
Yeah.
Like, that's like old school Crayola color. Like, who wants that?
I don't. I like bright orange better.
Sarah, if it's going to make you happy, we can put Tennessee in there.
I might not sleep tonight if it doesn't happen.
Okay.
Oh, I've already clicked it. We're moving on to Illinois versus Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech's run ends here against Illinois.
I agree with
that.
But I think it'll be good for them to win 8 games in the tournament and have good momentum to next year.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Illinois versus Tennessee.
It's fine. I understand what has to happen.
We have IT.
IT. Oh, have you ever watched that show? That British comedy, the IT.
Yeah,
oh,
it's funny.
It. Oh, so good.
I think it's funnier. I think it's funny how we go through all these games about half the time it takes us to debate all of these teams.
We've debated the teams at this point.
All right, West Virginia versus Houston.
I want it to be West Virginia. The numbers are not in our favor, but I have a really good friend.
I have a really good friend of mine from West Virginia, and she will be happy that we have them going to the Elite Eight. And then we have Illinois versus West Virginia, which I think will be a fantastic game, first of all.
I agree. Let's look at the comparison, shall we?
Yeah, I want to see the comparison because I know what my heart is saying, but I need to see the stats.
Ooh.
So I mean, West Virginia has a very strong strength of schedule compared to Illinois, who's chilling at 37th, compared to second for WVU. Last 10 games, Illinois is on a 9-1 run compared to a 6-4 record for West Virginia. And I mean, they're pretty evenly matched on 3-pointers. They're a lot better on the West Virginia's a lot better on the free throw line. But in terms of field goal percentage, Illinois got a beat.
So here's my thing.
Okay.
West Virginia, and I don't know if they're playing this style of defense this year, but typically their style of defense is really hard to game plan for a second game of a weekend. Because it's so they play that like that 40 minutes of hell defense where it's just oppressed the entire game. And but I know Illinois has some really good offensive players this year. Like they have two guys who can score 30 points at any time.
I mean, but if they can't get to the basket.
Yeah. So
let's put an upset. I want an upset.
You want West Virginia over to Illinois?
I want West Virginia.
All right.
I want an upset. Yeah.
That's our first non-number one seed in the Final Four. Right, and on to the last bracket.
The best bracket.
That's right. We saved the best for last. Before we get there, I would just like to call to everyone's attention that this championship game, like the Final Four, first of all, plays the day before Easter. It's just going to be a very celebratory weekend. But the championship game is being played on April 5th, which is also Easter Monday, which is also the day that I get my second COVID shot.
Holla.
Thank you. I will probably be feeling like trash and be on the couch watching basketball. So it works out for me.
I mean, what better way?
Is there a better day? Minus not feeling good.
I mean, probably, but I don't want to think about it if there is.
So the answer is no, there's not a better day. Best day ever.
The best day ever.
Okay, let's go.
All right, here we go.
Best bracket. Wait, we gotta get Ramses in here to help us through this bracket.
How have we been on this phone call for 2 hours? Not recording, but on this phone call for 2 hours. We just realized that you had Ramses right next to you.
I mean, I've known this.
Anywho, we've already said we don't think a 1 seed's going down. And in my heart, I want Baylor to go to the final, but I have Baylor over Hartford. Anybody have any arguments against that? Hearing none, we are continuing.
Wow. Okay. That was very aggressive.
He's just trying to get past the next one is what he's trying to do.
So our 5-12 game is, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Our 8-9 game is the University of North Carolina Tar Heels.
Praise the Lord.
Sorry, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill Tar Heels versus the Wisconsin Badgers.
Woohoo!
Wisconsin.
I mean, we can't let Ramses down.
So in my first bracket that I filled out, I had Carolina losing in this round. And I promise you, it was not just because they were Carolina. Part of it, but it wasn't solely because I do think Wisconsin has a chance.
I'm sorry.
But I would consider it a pretty big upset if they did. So
better field goal percentage.
Go ahead.
Higher strength of schedule.
Preach.
Higher points per game.
Cooler coach.
Way cooler coach. And then shout out to, I mean, I could see why you picked Wisconsin, but it's not going to be Wisconsin. Last 10 games, Carolina is 6-4. Wisconsin is 3-7. So Wisconsin's not on a hot streak. And we're solid. We're solid middle of the road team right now. I'm giving it to Carolina.
I'm always going to give the edge to Carolina because Roy Williams always seems to know how to motivate his team to take that win.
We love Roy Williams.
I love Captain Roy.
Are we done?
I like to call him Grandpa. I like to call him Grandpa Roy.
Happy.
I clicked it a long time ago.
I don't really care. We need our moment.
I needed it because I don't know how much farther it's gonna go. So I need to bask in it while I can.
Oh, in my heart, it's going.
So here's the thing. As long as Carolina doesn't turn the ball over and hit a couple more free throws than normal, and doesn't play down to their competition like they sometimes do, I'm pretty sure they'll win big. I'm calling like a 15-point.
I mean, win. John, you already clicked it like 5 minutes ago.
I know. I just had to get my thing in there.
And he says he's not a Carolina fan.
I didn't say I was rooting for Carolina. I'm just saying I'm picking for Carolina. Okay. All right. Anyway,
Ramses is grateful.
Villanova versus Winthrop. This is my second 12-5 upset.
No, you did not pick them over Villanova.
How did you pick Villanova, Sarah? Are you a Carolina fan?
I'm sorry. I have to. I also know that Winthrop is the 12th seed pick for this tournament, but I have to pick Villanova. I do. I think they're the better team here. And you will never be able to dissuade me from being a Carolina fan.
I mean, overall, I agree. I agree that they're the better team, but in that whole, like, there's always one or two 12-5 upsets.
This is the one.
This is one of them because Winthrop has a bunch of, upperclassmen. How many losses do they have?
They have one loss,
which was to UNC Asheville.
To UNCA, yeah.
Their we beat them on the floor. In the last 10 games is 9-1. So shout out to that one loss. Villanova's chilling at 5-5. And statistics wise, Winthrop beats on field goal percentage and a little bit on three-pointer percentage. Their points per game are higher. And also Villanova beat UNC in a buzzer beater in 2016, and I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
Yeah, but didn't you also beat them the next year?
No, we beat Gonzaga.
Oh.
I wept in the Dean Dome when that shot was made. Openly weeping in the Dean Dome.
My heart goes out to you, but as we learned from Celine Dion, my heart also goes on. So
Sarah said, I hear you, but I don't care.
You're supposed to forgive and move on.
I'm all about forgiveness. I really am. I mean, I'm just saying, look at that net ranking between Villanova and Winthrop. That's all I'm saying. 16 versus 55.
Yeah, but Winthrop has a higher, by 0.1%, 3-point percentage, higher fast break, higher field goals percentage.
Listen, do you want me to give you another reason why we need to pick Villanova?
Oh, Lord.
I think it is very representative as to what we are doing right now. We're taking two Carolina fans whose coloring is a light blue. We're taking a Duke fan whose coloring is dark blue, and we're bringing them together to build a bracket. What are Villanova's colors? Dark blue and light blue.
And their coach is a snazzy dresser.
Listen,
let's look.
Appreciate fashion.
Wait, let's look. I gotta see the coach before I can make a decision.
I'll put it this way.
That's relevant.
I'm mainly calling Winthrop because I'm calling it to be the 12-5 upset.
I would tend to agree with you,
but I am not heartbroken if I have to pick Villanova.
Oh, he's cute.
I mean, listen, we've already chosen Tony Bennett. I'm okay if Jay Wright makes it further.
I mean, Jay Wright's a good-looking fella. He is a snazzy dresser. I will give that.
He wears the pinstripes well.
He does, and he
does.
Pocket square.
And he also has some Argyle too.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I mean, I have my own bracket, so for the sake of this, to quote Sarah, I have my own bracket. So for the sake of this one, we can pick Nova.
All right, 4-13, Purdue versus North Texas. North Texas.
That's
North
it.
Texas is the pick, man. They're that number 13 team.
Are they?
They are. I mean, hold on. I want to actually read what this says. It doesn't give a lot of stats, but I think it's very good. So, North Texas is the highest rank of any of the number 13 seeds, and it enters the Big Dance on a 4-game winning streak, including back-to-back wins over top 100 Ken Pom opponents, Louisiana Tech and Western Kentucky. They've already played Arkansas, Mississippi State, and West Virginia in consecutive road games. So if you value double-digit seeds that have already played top-end talent, they check that box. So they can hold their own. They rank in the top 40 in offensive elective field goal percentage and in the top 20 in defensive effective field goal percentage.
Also, their statistics in terms of field goal, 3-pointers, and free throws are better.
You said free throws, 3-pointers, and what?
And field goal percentage. So like their points. They win on point. Purdue still technically scores more points per game, but their field goal percentage in terms of baskets that they make is 45.1 compared to 47.5.
I'm okay with picking them.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Have an incredible music program. One of the best music programs in the country.
Oh, well,
really?
you should have led with that.
Yeah, you buried the lead there, Sarah.
I was just saving the best for last, you know.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Pulling out that Hail Mary when I need it.
And then when you didn't need it, you were like, by the way.
So,
all right. So now we have Texas Tech versus Utah State.
I can't do any more Texas. I've already pulled for 2 Texas teams so far. It's too much.
You are just like filling up the upsets in this bracket. Sarah's like, I don't want upsets in any other division except for this one.
That's right. Well, in the South, we like to go crazy. In the South, we put our crazy people out on the front porch.
Lord.
I mean, I want to look at the stats. Can somebody pull them up?
Yeah, I got them. So team statistics. Free throw percentage, Utah State beats out Texas Tech by percentage point with 72 versus 71. Texas Tech is a little farther ahead on 3-pointers, and the field goal percentage is about equally matched. Points per game, Texas Tech has them Utah State has Texas by 0.3 points per game. But the strength of schedule is 19th for Texas Tech compared to 75th for Utah State. And Texas Tech has a better record versus top 25 because they played more.
And they also play in the
they play in the Big 12.
Yeah, the Big 12. I knew it was one of the big ones. I couldn't remember the number.
I'm going to default to you guys on this one. It's not that I don't care. It's just.
I also don't care. John, you choose.
Okay, I don't care.
I mean, I tend to lean towards Texas Tech.
Okay.
Hey, did you ever see that last Indiana Jones movie? Did you see the Indiana Jones trilogy?
The Crystal Skull?
No, we don't talk about that.
No, the actual trilogy.
Yes, I have seen the trilogy, yes.
So you remember
Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom, thank you. Remember when they get in there and they're looking for the Holy Grail and the knight tells them you have chosen poorly?
Yes.
Yes, just remember that because I'm going to use that phrase at some point coming up. Okay, continue.
Wait, based on what we have left?
No, based on what is yet to come.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my.
All right, so we have 3-14. We have Arkansas versus somebody.
Colgate. They are the pick here. Well, Arkansas and Colgate are both the pick for their seeds.
Arkansas.
I mean, why would you pull for something that already has another state's name in there? Like, if we're not going to pull for that ACU because they copied Western's logo, why would we pull for Arkansas when they're pulling in Kansas?
You know, that's a good argument. So let's just go with the toothpaste.
I mean, and also Arkansas's mascot is a pig. So
okay, it's a razorback. Let's be
a pig.
But listen, my ex-boyfriend, sorry if he's listening, he was from Arkansas and is a huge Arkansas fan, and I want them to go down.
All right, well.
So you're not sorry if he's listening. You are not sorry.
No.
Ooh,
Don't apologize.
Don't
I'm
apologize.
sorry here.
Demi Lovato this. Sorry.
All right, Florida versus Virginia Tech, which 10 years ago was a good football game.
Well, this is true. I still have a soft spot for Virginia Tech. I do.
There are no Tony Bennett, but
No, but sometimes the rejects are just as good. No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible. But no, I do. I have a very, very soft spot for Virginia Tech. And I'm not saying that because they're playing a Florida team.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
fine.
Virginia Tech, they went like a month and a half without playing basketball.
Yeah.
The COVID went through them pretty hard, which is probably why they're a 10 seed. But I have no problem picking Virginia Tech
let's do it.
I don't think they'll get too much
further. Yeah, I don't think they're
Support
passing.
that ACC.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that you think Oral Roberts is going to beat Ohio State?
I don't know where you got that.
Okay, I'm picking Ohio State.
Okay, hang on a sec. I gotta open this door.
I think we kind of have to.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm good with Ohio State.
They are equal. I'm just looking at this because I was curious. They are equal. I mean, I don't really care for the Buckeyes in general, but they're equal on defense. Like dead even.
Yeah, I mean their matchup analysis score is pretty close. 44.9 for Ohio State versus 43.5 for Oral Roberts.
And since this is
kind
the
of
last,
name is Oral Roberts?
it's a verbal name.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I think that one statement that needs to be made, since we're literally picking the last team of the first round, it doesn't really matter, honestly, who wins, even though it does, especially if it's Carolina. It's basketball.
True.
Like, can we just take a moment and appreciate the sport?
Mm-hmm. And that we actually have one of these this year.
That is March Madness.
Yeah.
I mean, as we know, the madness is on. But no, seriously, exactly what you said, John. Like, just be appreciative of the fact that we have it, because we didn't get this last year, and it was
sad.
It was
There was a hole.
It was. It made for a long spring.
Yep.
So with that being said,
that'll preach.
Ohio State.
I guess go Buckeyes.
All right.
Well, we're doing it for Trissa, and Trissa makes incredible snacks.
I mean, snacks are a reason to do anything.
No. Snacks.
There
it is. She'll be a
snacks.
All right, Ohio State and Virginia Tech. I don't see Virginia Tech having that upset.
Ohio State University.
OH.
Oh.
I was waiting for somebody to yell back IO, but it's okay. Although I would have loved to have seen Oral Roberts and Colgate go against each other.
Because of the yes, Colgate, Oral. I get it. I'm a crisp person myself.
Incredible. This is wild. Wow.
All right, Texas Tech and Colgate.
I don't think it matters, but I kind of want to go Colgate.
Hey, let's do it. We're getting to the end of this part.
No, okay, we have to be fair. Audrey did not approve of this.
Oh, I'm sorry, Audrey.
We have to be fair here. She's that what? What's the
19th strength of schedule for Texas Tech compared to 100th for Colgate.
Yeah, I don't know where Colgate plays.
The PAT, I don't know what that stands for. Pacific something.
Pretty athletic Terrapin. That was terrible.
That's it. You got it.
I really am not that stupid for anyone listening. I also recognize that, if anyone from ESPN were to ever hear this, they would be embarrassed.
This is my audition tape to ESPN.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Good.
Didn't tell y'all.
Okay, so listen.
It doesn't matter to me. It just really
listen, Linda. Colgate has better statistics.
Who is Linda? Frederick. Listen up, Frederick.
Listen, Linda, you are not listening. Technically, Colgate has better statistics. Technically, I don't think it's gonna happen. I want it to happen for you, Sarah. I just don't know that it's gonna.
That's fine. I just want to back up for a second and let all of our listeners know that PAT, what it actually stands for.
It's not pretty athletic terrapin. Wow.
It's not pretty athletic terrapin. It means for plant a tree.
What?
Plant a tree. It could also stand for profit after tax.
Or point after touchdown.
Yes, it could also stand for that. It could stand for perceptual ability test. Performance analysis team.
I'm broke. I'm done broke.
Prototype adaption toolkit. Oh, I love tools. I have a really awesome toolbox.
All right, and we're bringing it back in.
Sorry, programmable alarm thresholds. I'm done. I'm done.
All right.
No. I gotta know what it stands for,
Honey.
I gotta know.
Probably.
You know what this means.
What? No, I don't know what it means.
Yes, you do. Yes.
Specific something. What is it? I literally don't know.
Okay, actually, I don't know if I do. Isn't it like the extra point in football? Like
PAT, yeah.
No, but it's a conference. It's the conference that one of these teams is in.
Point
I'm
after
sure it's Colgate.
Colgate.
Are they the
Colgate
only
is
team in this conference?
Oh,
I can't find. I just had this. Oh, why don't I do this?
Pretty enamel tooth. Colgate.
Oh
Pretty enamel tooth. Perfect enamel tooth. I'm just gonna keep going. What?
Oh my god.
All right, we need to pick a winner of this game. Texas Tech or Colgate.
Whatever.
All right. Well, I'll stick with. I'm going to go with Texas Tech because I want to get this game right.
Same.
And then we have.
I can't find it.
Villanova versus North Texas.
Villanova's going to take that.
Yeah.
Okay. And Baylor versus a little school called North Carolina.
I'm sorry. This is where I stop. I'm going to just bow out here because I can never say that Carolina isn't going to win.
I mean, let's look at the matchup just so I can maybe
to.
Make myself feel better.
I don't want to.
I know you don't want to.
This will be a matchup of guard, a team that has really good guards versus a team that has really good big men.
Yeah, I mean, our team is pretty deep in terms of big men.
Yeah.
Which is important. I don't.
It's the Patriot League.
It is. I
where Colgate
I know. I was waiting for a place to pepper that in.
Oh well, I definitely can't pull for Colgate then. I don't even like the freaking Patriots in football. Ew. Continue.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be Baylor.
The statistics are not in our favor.
I think that Carolina will take it, and then Villanova will beat them again.
This is my emotional support, Ramses. I want to pull for us. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
I mean,
I just don't see why we had to make that we all have to agree rule before we started.
Wasn't that your rule?
No, it was yours.
Oh, I thought that's what we were talking about yesterday.
We all know I'm gonna be a rebel when it comes to sport.
You have been quite a few times.
I know. Listen, I'm going to say that I abstain because if I abstain from voting, it's not. Then
it's a unanimous.
It is.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
All right.
I can't do not against Baylor. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I know they have a good music program too, but I can't do it.
You don't think they're gonna beat? You don't think Carolina's? You think Carolina's gonna beat Baylor?
I think Carolina will take Baylor and then lose to Villanova.
I think that's a possibility.
But again, I have my own bracket.
What? That was some shade has been thrown.
I mean, just to let you, I have Baylor in the championship game. So
what?
Oh, you won't find me taking Baylor to the championship game.
Wow. Wow.
Let's be all agree. I just don't think they will, but that could happen. I don't see all. Anyway, we're not there yet.
I have them in the Final Four, in one championship game in the other. But I could see them. Their first loss I really see is against Ohio State. But
it's fine. Do what you have to do.
Yeah. All right, Audrey, you think Baylor over UNC?
Hear from you later.
I mean, I feel like
I need a cookie.
I also need a cookie.
This is too much. It's just too
much. Well, let's get these games out of the way, and then we can have cookies.
No,
I'm just gonna hug Ramses like this.
I can't. I it's just we knew it would come to this. Poor John. John's just like, I want to leave my office. Can you just pick a
John's like, can you get it together, ladies?
Why did I do this? It's fine. You can. I can't even say it. You pick
just
who you
put Baylor in.
I don't think they'll make it past the Elite Eight, even if we did put UNC in. So it's fine.
All right. So who do we have? Baylor over Villanova.
I'm done. I don't want to choose anymore.
The matchup has Baylor.
I don't see it.
I mean, I haven't seen Villanova play this year. I've seen Baylor play this year. They're one of the few teams I've seen play this year.
Baylor's got a better record, and they're better on the 3-point line. They're pretty crappy on the free throw line.
I will admit, I wouldn't be too upset to see a Baylor-Ohio State matchup.
I wouldn't be upset about that either.
Well, then let's make it a Baylor-Ohio State matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I expected Ohio State to go to the...
And then who's going to win the Elite Eight with that?
I mean, let's look. Ooh, again, the matchup has Baylor.
While you're looking that up, I'm just going to point out, since we've talked about Tony Bennett a lot, let's just talk about Tony Bennett, the singer. He left his heart in San Francisco. I left my heart in the second round when we left Carolina. It's also, well, never mind. I won't. It's fine. I'm moving on. Look at the matchup.
Can that be the name of this episode? I left my heart in the second round.
No, you gotta. I'm writing it down. You said what? Tony Bennett left his heart.
No, she said I left my heart.
I know, but that's the punchline. What's the setup?
You know how Tony Bennett left his heart in San Diego?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
I left my heart in the second round.
Incredible. That was amazing.
Thank you.
I'd
say I'll be here all week, but I really have way too much work to do to be here all week.
Sarah's like, I am here until this is over, and then I've got to go. Goodbye.
Then you will find me writing a huge research paper.
Oh. Cooper does not like your research
paper. All right, Cooper. All right, Baylor versus Ohio State. Who do we have winning that one?
I know who I want to win. No, ew, gross. I want to look at the stats because I don't.
Baylor has the stats. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Baylor has a better field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. The only place that Ohio State beats them at is on the free throw line, which, as we know, free throws win ball games. There you go. However, Baylor's got an 8-2 streak last 2 games. Their points per game is 84 compared to 77. Their net rank is 7-2. I think
it's fine.
I will say Ohio State has a better strength of schedule, but I mean, I guess we were told to take that with a grain of salt.
I think it's fine if we take Baylor to the Final Four. I really do, because I don't see them winning.
All right, now we are at our Final Four.
You have West Virginia beating Baylor? Wow. Okay.
What?
Huh?
You said you don't see Baylor getting out of the Final Four, which means you have West Virginia going to the championship.
I kind of do.
Dang, all right.
All right. Well, I mean, we already, we left the Mountaineers, the App State Mountaineers, back in the first round. We may as well
just kind of get one Nears in there.
That's right. Get him near the champion.
All right, let's do Gonzaga versus Michigan.
I want to say
it's a good game.
This is such a good game.
It'll be a high scoring game.
That'll be a defensive battle right there.
The Zags have a way better offense.
Man, I really think the Zags are going to. I see the Zags going all the way. I do.
Yeah. Zags are also, undefeated.
Yeah. If they make it to the Final Four, they're definitely the team. They're the team I'm rooting for the whole time, which means they're going to lose early, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's in my upset bracket, actually. Believe it or not.
Oh, Gonzaga losing early? Yeah. And then Baylor versus West Virginia.
Sarah's pulling for the Nears, it sounds like.
I am.
Wow.
I can see it happening.
There's way too much
they do have a better strength of schedule, but that's about the only thing they've got going.
They have the heart behind it. Heart.
That's fair.
I
on
think
the free throw line, they are a lot better than Baylor.
I think it'll be a good game. Free throws win ball games. But I still think that
it'll be offense versus defense, and defense typically wins championships.
Yeah, they'll run each other to death. But I think that it's going to be. I still know who I think is going to be the champion. So I think either team that goes, it'll be a good final championship game.
So do you want to say Baylor?
No,
not Baylor. Sorry, West Virginia.
We can put it in there.
All right.
What do you think, Audrey?
I think the statistics have it with Baylor, and I'm a sucker for some statistics, but I'm down for an upset.
I think that you can choose Baylor. That's fine. I'd like to see, two number ones battle it out.
And they've been 1 and 2 basically this entire season.
I'd be okay with that.
All right. Because Baylor, their second loss was in the Big Ten tournament, and I never think of losing in a conference tournament as being that big of a deal.
I don't either. I don't think it's that much of a
for the overall tournament. I never think of it as a big deal.
The year Carolina came in second in the ACC tournament in 2017, and then went and won the championship. So it's not. It's not that much of an indicator.
Yeah. All right. Championship game, April 5th. Sarah is laid out on the couch after her second vaccine.
That's right.
Who is raising the trophy with underneath the confetti, Gonzaga or Baylor?
I know. Let's do the fair thing and look at the stats because they are number 1 seeds.
All right. Ooh. So, wow, that's crazy. Okay, so net rank is first and second.
Yeah.
Record versus top 25. Zags are 4-0 compared to Baylor at 7-2. The Zags have a stronger strength of schedule. Score a significant amount more points per game, 92 versus 84. They're better on the free throw line, and their field goal percentage is good. It's 55%. So essentially, when they make a shot, it's probably going to go in.
Yeah, the one thing that Baylor has though is they have a pretty good higher 3-point percentage.
Oh yeah,
which means they can keep themselves in a game. But my gut, and having watched him play, of course I haven't watched him play since December or something like that. I think it's Gonzaga's tournament to lose, so I think Gonzaga is going to win this game.
Yeah.
Their efficiency margin is better than any team that's entered the NCAA tournament since 2002.
Yeah. I think it's the Zags.
I do too. And of course, who doesn't pull for the Bulldog?
Bulldogs.
Except for that one time when we beat them in 2017. I'm still on it.
I definitely pulled against the Bulldogs at that point. But it's okay. It's understandable. Again, Jesus understood where I was coming from. It's not a problem.
Oh,
Right.
that's wild.
And then we have Gonzaga winning, and now we got to put in a score.
Well, their average points per game is 92.1.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. Both teams are very good offensively.
I think though, I mean, if these two teams go there, I think we're going to see a 1 or 2 point win. It's a very small margin.
I would agree, especially with like how good Baylor is on the 3-point line.
I can do a 1 point. All of mine that I've been doing have been like 5, but that's just because at the end of the game, fouling and whatnot, and to lengthen the game by putting the other team on the foul line. But 1 or 2 point game, I can see it easily.
I'm gonna say like 85 to like 83 or 84.
Mid 80s.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like Gonzaga is typically a high scoring team, but also
they're playing in a football stadium, so sometimes that's hard. That's hard on that perception of shooting.
True. And I think that Baylor's got a good enough defense that they're probably not going to get to 90. If they do, I'll be shocked and surprised.
I'm feeling more like 80, 87, 85.
Okay.
I mean, I think an 85 is going to be in there.
Okay.
Then again, I also try to pick the year I was born. Let's be real here. I like significance. But no, I agree. I think mid 80s is where that's going to end up being.
All right. So what do you want to do? 87, 85?
Yeah, 87, 85.
Got it. Good.
Cool. Finished the bracket.
Wow. Teamwork makes the dream work, friends.
Congratulations. We think Gonzaga's gonna win.
Yay. Now I've got to go like make my personal brackets. I made this bracket before I made any of mine.
I think that the Zags need to redo their logo because I don't like the fierceness of that bulldog. It's not representing, bully breeds in the best manner.
But I mean, they gotta be tough. They gotta be tough.
I know. I get that.
Basketball.
You gotta be scared of that bulldog, even though it's very easy to outrun one.
I mean, until my little half pint over here, I'd always had bully breeds.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for going through this bracket. We actually agreed on more than I thought we would.
I would say so too. Yeah.
There were only a few that we were like.
Sarah was like, "I have my own bracket."
Hey, you used that line too.
I used it once.
She quoted the originator.
I credited my sources.
So go through with your bracket and see if you can beat us, or if the three of our heads together is better than everybody's. So thank you for joining us, and I don't know when the next episode of this podcast will be, so follow everything on all the things, and until next time.